Welcome! Are you planning on building a one siege march to support your other field troops? Or maybe your kingdom to hold bridges, choke points, and defend flags? But you don't know which commanders you need to start with and what is the target and which commanders are the best or the pairings? Don't worry, I'm going to give you a crash course on siege commanders so you know exactly what is the plan, what are the key pairings you should consider for your account. I'm Dveski, I am Siege main in my kingdom 3407, and I'm a big fan of Mr. Siege, the YouTuber who really promoted siege troops and siege fighting style on YouTube. Let's get started. What I'm going to use is a tier system. So the meta march as of today is Gajamara with Gonzalo. This is the most all-around march, does the most damage, almost the most damage, but has insane survivability, and both of these commanders are smite commanders. Gajamara brings defense 3, healing, some debuff on enemy defense, while Gonzalo is the damage king of siege. Basically, you must have Gonzalo. This is the #1 priority for everybody, is to invest and expertise Gonzalo as your first siege commander. The max DPS pairings are actually Babur with Cordoba. This pairing is dealing the most damage per minute because Babur brings a very high single target skill together with a boost in health, boost in defense, and Gonzalo is a damage king anyways. And another pair which is a very good DPS pair is Gonzalo Steven. It is a kind of similar pair except for you go with Gonzalo as primary and Steven as secondary. Steven brings a probability AoE on his expertise together with a heal. Those two main skills are what really increases the damage output of this march. And the third commander pair you can use for damage output in your siege tower is Margaret with Gonzalo. This was the first siege pair that was used in the siege community. It's a fast march. Margaret has a lot of march speed with siege units. However, it's a very squishy march, so it doesn't really last on the field for very long, and you will have to reset it after maybe 1 or maybe 2 minutes of fighting. Margaret does bring support tree, so there is a lot more rage generation, and she has a massive 40% defense debuff on your enemy, so Gonzalo really packs a punch. So there is a march which can be swarmed down by 3 enemies and still trade positive. It is Gajamara with Babur. So we know Gajamara is defense 3, heal, defense, really strong, and then Babur with his health stats as well as buffing defense even higher really makes it the most tanky siege march in this game. You can probably expect it to outlive all your other field troops, which is a very positive thing because the recharge time is quite significant due to lower march speed. Now let's say that you are still developing your siege tower and you did just maxed out Gonzalo, you don't have any more legendary siege commanders. But there are 2 epic commanders which you can use, and you should only use one, which is Narses. Narses is a commander which goes very well with Gonzalo, keeping Gonzalo primary to capture that attack tree. And Narses brings rage on his skill and healing. So healing helps to stay on the field for longer, and rage simply makes your skills cycle faster. So it's very beneficial to pair it with Gonzalo as your budget march. And now finally, if you're only building a single tower to support your other field troops, you should not go with Catherine as an investment. It is just not worth it. Catherine is too squishy, not really going so well with other commanders in the siege meta. And also, I would not recommend investing in Margaret. Margaret is only really good paired with Gonzalo. However, Gonzalo paired with Steven, Babur, and Gajamara are just far more better. For those who are building multiple siege marches, they do invest in Margaret just to balance out the power between their multiple towers. But if you're going with a single siege march, just ignore Margaret and focus on Gonzalo number 1, Gajamada number 2. If you have other commander invested, this is your overview. Use it, and you still have enough time to prepare for your next KVK to really build that tower and do pew